What's up, Dragon Brood? Today, we're doing one of those weird videos where we kind of like morph the deck constantly as we went along, so it's not going to be super clean. So we're not going to do a deck list at the beginning. We're just going to show you the deck list at the end where we finish, because honestly, it would be a mess to keep up with because we change it every couple of games. However, I will let you know that today we are playing a Dimir list that focuses on Demilich. That's right, we finally did it. This is a card that we've been trying to mess around with. I've had some deck lists sitting around that I toyed with, and I couldn't quite get there, and I figured, you know what, tonight we're going to pull the trigger and go for it, and we actually made it happen. I think by the end, we finished on a pretty good list. Now, I will say, we played a lot of games, so you're probably only going to see 3 or 4 in this video, because they were very long games in some of them, but I think you're going to enjoy what you see, and if you've been looking for a way to play Demilich, this might actually be the way to do it. So, let's go get into those games. Yeah, we'll keep. Let's go this first. This is kind of nice too. We have enough things that are cheap that we can kind of dance around some stuff with our tap lands, which is pretty nice. Well, let's put these 2 in the yard. And let's just play this tapped. Alright, let's see what we can do. But the thing, Sticky Buns, is like, why would that even matter if aggro whatever is good or not? Like, you just still wouldn't want that other card to exist. Like, what does that do? We already have enough quality removal. We're playing against, obviously, mono green aggro of some variety. So we're going to have 3 lands already. We kind of want to get to a 4th one. So let's just put this into the yard. Though, there's a good chance we're still going to... Well, no, that's fine. I was going to say that they could have, like, Chariot, but we'll have a Disruption in hand if we do this right. So let's just do this. So we have this. I'm probably going to go ahead and use this. Let's take out... Let's take out Sentinel. And we'll pass. See what kind of mana they're on. Alright, they're not missing so far. Though they aren't going to play a troll here, which I was kind of hoping they would. Because stealing a troll to block their 2/2 would have been pretty awesome. But no such luck. Yep. Pretty sure that's what we were going to be doing. So let's put this in the yard. And we'll put them in this order. And that works for me. And then we'll still hold on to this. There's really no reason to give that up. And we know we have another land on top. So, kind of can take our time here. Alright. We'll bounce that. I mean, we'll scry technically, but we already know what we want our top card to be. I mean, I was going to say, you can protect it if you want to, opponent. I would not be opposed to that. Ah, they did have the troll. Was a turn behind. You know what? We just let them have the troll. We'll just steal it. Do we use one of these? I don't know that we do. I just feel we're not going to get max value because we already know we wanted this card, so we just wait. Alright, so now we have a troll. Now they have a Wrenn in 7. Oh, they have a Chariot. Okay, fair enough. No, though we have a Lich, possibly. Alright, let's go ahead and play this. Actually, when this dies... Who does? Creature returns to the battlefield. Alright, so to go to the opponent's side. I think I'm just going to do this. We're just going to make a big 10 ball. See what the opponent wants to do. And I guess I'll play this tapped at this point. So I think we're past its usefulness. And this will give us the opportunity to do stuff like play Otherworldly Gaze, still play Demilich. Alright, they're going looking. They're probably going to go to a go wide strategy now. Yep. Okay, we can consider. Ooh. Don't hate that. Decline. Let's just draw that. I was not expecting that. So if we attack, we could ultimately just bounce the chariot, though we would be giving them more 2/2s. I'm not really sure we necessarily want to do that. But it could still be beneficial, maybe. Let's attack first. Let's see how they block. Because this is a lot of damage. Hey, Order. Alright, so they're going to block there. I was wondering if we could get them to do that, so that's why I was like, let's attack first. Ooh, and strategic planning even. Yeah, that might as well stay on top. Alright, so opponent's going to take 10, 14. We go ahead and... Actually, if we're going to do that, we could cast this. And then just get a Demilich. Yeah? Alright. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still going to be short on lands if we do that. Though, we could put this in the yard. I mean, maybe we can get an Epiphany off in 2 turns. It'll take 3 turns, though. We actually... what we end up having to do is just put Disruptor's Disruption in the yard. Draw the Epiphany. And then set the Epiphany up next turn and see if we can draw an untapped land. Which we have Otherworldly Gaze to help us with that, so maybe it's a possibility. Alright, opponent. It's on you. They're going to make plenty of bodies here, though. That's for sure. I thought they were about to attack with their chariot. I was about to freak out. Oh, this deck is not up, Aster. I would not recommend anybody play it yet till it's cleaned up. They are going to attack with the chariot. What is this nonsense? Are they just giving up? I mean, yeah, sure, no blocks. I mean, if you got me, you got me. I mean, because even if they play a land to block with their Faceless Haven, that's it. Okay. Liberator, still same thing. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Alright, well, I guess we attack then. Right, you block 10, take 4? Or take 8? Yeah. You know what I need? I need actually probably some Into the Royal. Probably what we need. Yeah, we keep this. Oh, I've had just as many bad hands in real life as I've seen in Arena, I'm sure. As a matter of fact, I've seen people do that and then want to complain, and I've looked at them and been like, must be the shuffler. And then they get mad about it. Yeah, let's hit a duress. See what you got, opponent. Maybe we can get a... Not that. Okay, well, that's not the worst thing. Let's pass. We can Fading Hope, and then maybe, let's see, with your lands, we'd be able to counter a troll next turn? It wouldn't be that bad. Maybe we can even find a land on top here. That is not a land. I'm going to get rid of that. I was hoping we might get lucky. We didn't, though. So now I have a decision to make. If we're going to, like, if the opponent's savvy, then they're probably going to play the Werewolf Pack Leader again, because that's what I would do if I left 2 mana up. And no reason to take the risk on the troll because they have other lands. So I'm going to put this in tapped and pass. And let's just see where this goes. Ah, they went for the troll anyway. Golly. I guess I shouldn't give my opponents credit for the right play sometimes. Concerted effort likely isn't going to do anything against them. If we leave a land on top, it doesn't do much because we can't target that now. Alright, but let's put these two in the yard. And then that at least lets us make a big enough serpentine curve. And then next turn, depending on what we draw, we get some options maybe to like Blood Chief's Thirst that and then play a Demilich or something. Like, we'll see. There's opportunity here. Now they could, I was going to say, they could like just double Blizzard Brawl or something. Like that would have been totally doable. Oh. All right. Well, these 2 turns did not go the way we wanted them to go. The opponent just ignored everything and just played the troll, and then they drew a chariot. So, trying to think what we're going to do here to get out of trouble, because I don't know how many options we have. The best thing that could happen would be if they played a land and tried to Wrenn and 7 and we could counter it. So sadly, we just might be in a situation to not do anything and just pass. Hey, Boofy, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in tonight. Or morning, depending on where you're at. Thanks for the raid. We are trying a very odd Demilich deck today and seeing if things work out. Alright? You have a wolf. You have another wolf. Ugh. Oh boy. Alright. I mean, is our plan right now to try to find another serpentine coil or whatever? Like, is that all we're really doing? Seeing how they played, I'm going to assume they don't have a Wrenn and 7 here because they just ran the troll in all nonchalantly. So I'm assuming they would have done the same thing if they had a Wrenn and 7, right? We're at 17, so we could afford to take the damage from that if we wanted to. We don't have to next turn, though, because we can kill a wolf and then play a Demilich. And this costs 7, so we're too far away from that. Let's put this in the yard. Well, yeah, let's put that in the yard. Man, do I want the Demilich, though? I guess so. Alright. And those are fine, I guess, for the order. One thing I'm getting punished for now is not playing that last turn, because then I'd be able to play this. Actually, no, I wouldn't have the mana for it. I mean, it's no green mana up, so if it's something like a Snakeskin Veil, that's not a thing. I mean, they could use it to, I guess, load up the Chariot, but they also would be making the Chariot susceptible to other things, which I don't think they want to do. No, I didn't want to Blood Chief the token because I already knew that the Werewolf existed, and you're getting much more value getting the Werewolf than you are getting the token. Because we can always, like, chump block tokens and stuff. Alright. Let's see what's up. No attacks. I mean, we have them somewhat at a standstill, but not at much. I mean, we do get another Lich, and we do have 7 things in our graveyard, so that's a thing. We do also get to play a spell for free, so we could attack and get a Blood Chief Thirst back, or a Fading Hope, which would also be fine. Or something we put into the graveyard. Alright. Here comes stuff. I was gonna say, if you attack with a Chariot, I will gladly block. Let me tell you. That wouldn't stop me for a second. Uh-oh, what are we doing? I don't like the looks of this. Okay, that didn't hurt too bad. I was like, what are we setting up? I was getting a little worried. Let's go ahead and play this. One, because it's a sorcery, but Arena, why would you do that to me? Arena was going to try to use more of my blue mana. How naughty. Oh gosh. Well, okay then. Whoa! Ah! Damn it. Oh well. We'll play this one. I meant to have the strategic planning in hand. Alright, not attacking yet. We'll wait till we have at least 2 Demiliches down. Then we'll consider it. We have 11 things in the yard right now. We're not going to get past double troll, though, at the moment. The only good news is, though... why is this the attack? Oh, we must have found a, It's got to be an inscription, right? Okay, well, if it is, it is. No, it wasn't? Did I just need the mana for some reason? No. Well, that whole thing has me confused. I don't know what happened at all there. I mean... what do we even want to do here? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Why they even attacked with that troll. Like, this whole scenario is very weird to me. I don't know what I want to do. I guess we're going to do this first. Just because I want more information here before I make any actions. Ugh. Well. That's not much of a choice, is it? Yeah, I guess we take consider, huh? Okay, well, let's see what else we got. We'll put another card in the yard. We will put that in the yard. Damn. Okay. Well, if we attack, what happens here? We're only at 16, but we can play another Demilich, so sure. We also get to play a card out of our yard, so... Do we I guess we just take a Fading Hope. I mean, why not? Ugh, don't need that. Now, if they make the troll, they lose a land and they get a token. And it comes into play tapped. Hey, Dragon King. Yep. Okay, so they're tapping 2 mana, 3 mana. Oh, they want to block with that? Okay. I'm game. Like, that doesn't seem bad for us at all. Yeah, this is kind of an odd choice, but okay. I mean, I'll just play a Demilich. Remove one... Actually, do I even want to remove Duress? Probably. Next time, we're probably just going to play Serpentine Curve. It's going to be the next thing. We can also draw cards with that. Alright. Okay, opponent. I mean, that's still going to be a big one. It's going to be 13. I mean, I don't think they have much to push past that once that happens. 14, actually, because we'll play this first. Oh, and whatever else we put in the yard, right? Yeah, might as well use it. Just fuels the yard at this point. Alright, it's just a land. Let's go ahead and curate. Stowaway and Disruption. Well, I guess we'll take a Stowaway. It's at least a blocker. Put number into our graveyard. Let's put this into the graveyard. Or actually, you know what? We're not even going to play the Stowaway. We're just going to play another Lich, I think. This is what we're going to do this turn. Actually, we probably get to play both of these anyway. Do we want to... What do we want to cast? Blood Chief's Thirst? Sure. Let's pay the kicker. Actually, nah. Let's not. Let's just kill one of these. Alright, they just took it that time. Let's remove Duress, Disruption. Getting kind of tight for cards I want to remove now. Curate. Maybe the other Curate, I guess. Sadly. Though I know they let us draw cards, but we have other things that put cards in our hands, so I'm kind of okay with it. Alright, opponent. Yep, you have a pack leader. Alright, big attack incoming, I'm assuming. Nope, they're just going to go ahead and make a troll here. Okay. Not what I thought they were going to do, but yeah, fine. Yeah, okay. Block. Block. Take 4. Oh, that is excellent. That is very good. All right. So if we play a Serpentine Curve, which is going to be gigantic. So that takes 4 mana, 5 mana. It's not going to leave us enough to play this, but that's okay. I'm kind of alright with it because we can just play this stowaway. So that's all good. Alright. Get in there with that, duder. We're going to go ahead and play this. Continuing on. Okay. Now, they're going to have, assuming they get, well, no, that still wouldn't do it. So they're going to have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we can bounce 1. So we'll be at 3. Feels a little bit risky. But I'm into it. Hopefully they didn't draw a snakeskin veil. That's the biggest deal here. And I could have done it beforehand, but I kind of wanted them to make decisions here without having the veil. I need them to trigger their attack, but then bounce a thing after they've declared attackers, before they get their card. So let's bounce a token, because that just goes away. Oh, another Fading Hope. Yeah, we'll leave that. Hopefully that's not something that pumps a creature. Alright, we'll block here. Block here. Actually, I don't even know if I want to block that. Well, no, because we have a Fading Hope to get rid of the other thing. So, yeah, that's fine. So we take 8, we take 10. Hopefully, that's not an Inscription of Abundance. Oh, it's not. Woo! Ooh, that was close. That was close. That had potential to be real bad. Yeah, see, an opponent was GGing us a second ago. Now what? You ain't even got blockers, opponent. And I've got 26 damage. Ugh. Yes, we keep. Mostly because we have Curate and Disruption, so why not? Sadly, though, I may have to put one of these on black, just in case. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. Would have liked for something there to have been a land, but let's put this into the graveyard. Not knowing what the opponent's doing yet, I kind of want to keep all this, so let's just put that in the yard. Let's draw the Fading Hope. And then we'll just pass. And let's see what's up. Aspirants. Well, how badly do I want my mana? Because if we bounce it, then we don't get to use the Disruption next turn. And that's a highly annoying card, honestly. I think I'm willing to just gamble here. Let's just counter it. Because we still have Fading Hopes and stuff to just buy us time if necessary, so it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and do this in case we find a land. Or a land-like card. Oh, no. This gamble is not going to pay off. Yeah. Those will just go to the yard. Wow. Okay, then. Punished. Max punishment. I shouldn't have got greedy. You probably want to redeem those points, Scorpy. I'm not doing 2 truths and a lie tonight. No particular reason, just not really feeling it tonight. I don't want to put that type of concentration in. Boy. I mean, I guess I kind of have to consider, right? All right. Well, we got some of what we needed. Okay. Let's see how this works. I feel like we probably have to take some amount of damage here. Unless this is like, maybe the adversary. Trying to figure out how much is worth taking here. All right, I'm just gonna take it. Mostly because I want to make sure I use this Fading Hope. Oh, they didn't have another land. See, that's what I was really basing that decision on. Yeah, we'll take it because we're gonna need the mana one way or the other. Can't play this yet because they could have any number of things that remove it. So that's not really an option. We will take 3 here though, and we'll pass. Partly because we can Fading Hope a creature, and we can also like counter a thing. Alright. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and counter that. And then we can bounce something during their end step. Go to 8 here. It's not really worth bouncing just that. Though, if that ends up being all they have, then that could be just fine. Maybe they have just a bunch of removal creatures in hand. Because that's what it feels like. We don't want that at this juncture. Okay. So at some point, we're going to have to pull the trigger on this and know that it's going to get removed. That's basically it. Because those are some number of removal cards, right? Either... we had Siphon Insight in the list, and I think I just removed it last iteration. Man, this is tough. I think we have to, though, because... Well... Let's at least cast this. So we get some info. Ooh, we have a Divide by 0 coming. Well... We can't use that on the land, though. We know that. So let's... put this and this into the graveyard. We'll leave the Divide by 0 on top. We'll go ahead and play this. If it's Apparition, it does nothing. If it's... what you call the new guy, then we're in trouble. But if not, we do get to Otherworldly Gaze and then still have the option. Okay, so it is an Apparition that does nothing. Great. That was the best thing we could have hoped for there. Aspirant, gonna be a bit of a pain in our butt. We'll have to find a way to work around that. Let's go ahead and do this so we can make sure what's there. Well, I was just thinking, if we divide by 0 on something, and then we draw a land, or get a land, we could gain 2, puts us at 11, so we're not going to die. No, I don't think we can. I think we still got to do this. Alright, there's a Demilich, and another divide by 0. So let's put this on 1, 2, 3. It doesn't give us enough to play the Demilich next turn, too, though. Oh, boy. Alright, let's put this on bottom, or in the yard. And let's leave the other 2 as they are. Let's put Demilich on top. Alright. And then we'll just pass. Hopefully they don't remove our 12/12. If so, this is going to hurt a whole lot. Ah, Spellbinder. Poop. Alright, well, that's sad. I guess we kind of got to do this then. And then we just get the cheap thing that we don't get to take advantage of next turn. Yep. So that kind of makes this next turn not as exciting by a long shot. Alright. No attacks. And we're just going to hope to survive the turn. We unfortunately have no kill cards in our graveyard, though we do have Fading Hopes, so there's that. But another apparition will remove our Demilich. Exactly. So we've got to figure out how to navigate this from here. We're going to take 5 in the air. Pretty sure that's it. Yep. And I think that's going to do it. Because even if we bounce a thing, we take 2, 4, 6. I mean, we could... Yeah, the only thing is we could pay 4... But then that means we can't... Well, if we bounce that, we at least get a blocker back. But no, then we just die to the flyer, because that's too much damage. Oh, do we have any real outs here? Block, block. No, just doesn't do it. No deal. We got nothing. So yeah, that's got to go. Alright, that wasn't the worst thing. Let's just play that tapped. They're going to foretell something, I assume? A small egg. Well, I would like to kill a small egg. How about that? Though, I would also kind of like to duress the opponent, too. Let's do that first. I was kind of hoping to maybe hit their Epiphanies or something. Okay, so we kind of got to get negate now, unfortunately. Sucks that we know that. Well, that's not totally true. Because we could... Oh, no, because they'd have another land before we would. I was thinking we could try to kill it, then they try to counter, and then we counter with the disruption, but that wouldn't really work. So it's got to be negate. Alright. So yeah, I guess we just consider during their end step. They can counter if they want. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. We're going to Blood Chief Thirst that thing anyway. Sure. That actually probably works out even better for us, truthfully. Kind of a weird use of that for the opponent. Because now they're going to have to dig deep there. And we're just going to hold up a disruption since we know they have the memory deluge. Like, no need for us to be in a hurry. And if they don't do anything, we'll just curate, I guess. The thing is, it kind of becomes a game of chicken, though, right? Because I'm not tapping till they tap. And if they just do it during our end step, then so be it. Though this is kind of cool having a divide by 0 here. This is just a case of trying to be as patient as possible against that type of deck. I mean, they could also go land dragon here, and that would still suck. Otherwise, like I said, we're just going to be on this divide by 0 and be impatient. Ooh, we're going to have to be very patient. Okay, they don't have anything, though. Not sure what those other things are, unless they're just lands and epiphanies or something. But they would have foretold that if it was an epiphany. You just want to counter something? What do we let them counter? What if we... Let's do this. Oh, well, they're both lands. I guess we'll take this Hall of the Storm Giants then. We can consider and curate. Let's end the turn. Alright, they still don't have anything. I mean, one more land, they'll be able to deluge, I guess. Oh boy. Well, we don't like that, do we? I guess we're just... Okay, the opponent gave up. Alright. Don't love this, but I don't hate it. Let's see what we got. I'm just gonna put this in tapped. I mean, if the opponent's playing green, then like... Yeah, exactly. We play that, we'll just Blood Chiefs there something and... call it good. And then we're gonna Fading Hope, and then hope we find answers after that, because I don't know what we're gonna do. Yes, we want that. Give us a chance to snag a Chariot, maybe. Ah, they had double Chariot. Gosh, damn it. Even when we get the cards we need, the opponents are drawing hot. Nothing you can do. Alright. Well, we gotta try to make the most out of it now. Yeah, obviously, bring your Chariots. Whoa! I guess they're playing around us having a Jiraiya's Disruption. Nothing wrong with that. Smart play, actually. Curate it is. I mean, sure, you can use the Snakeskin Veil. I won't stop you. Well, now we found a Disruption. I guess we keep both of these. Yeah, that order seems fine, I guess. I mean, we're going to get both cards anyway. I mean, we know they have a Snakeskin Veil, so it's a little bit weird. Because if they get a land, then we can Disruption, make them spend the 1, and then we bounce the Mammoth, so it's kind of goofy. But I don't even think I'm going to save for that. I think I'm just going to strategic planning here. If we take some damage from the Mammoth, I think we take it. I'd like to dig for other important cards. Ooh. This won't suck. Divide by 0 would have been nice, but, you know, that's not bad either. Yep. Sounds like a plan. Yep. We'll just take it. Okay, I don't even know if we waste that, honestly, as much as we do just looking at the top of the library. See if we can set up an untapped land. The only benefit would be if we weren't sure on drawing the land, then we go ahead and make them spend the 1, so we could bounce that if we wanted to, but I'd rather gamble this way. Oh, we found plenty of lands. Well, let's put, guess it doesn't really matter, this into the graveyard, and then we'll just Well, even then, we have strategic planning in hand and a fading hope. Ugh. What do we want? I think we're just going to put one of these into the graveyard. And then we'll just leave those as they are. Alright. I mean, they could still draw a lot of things here. We are a long way from being clear. Well, that's one thing you can do. That's for sure. Alright, well, strategic planning it is. Oh my gosh. I guess we take a fading hope? This is pretty terrible. So now I'm kind of in a situation that we need to bounce the wolf. Oh gosh. All right. I mean, they know that I know that they have it, so like, you know, do with it what you will. Don't necessarily want that. So interesting they let that go away. So what do we do with that information? I think we just pass. Just on the off chance they get like a Wrenn in 7. Oh, they don't even have anything. Okay. Well, this gets more interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Well, we can cast a Demilich. So we put this into our hand for sure. And trying to think if there's anything else we want to do here before we do that. I think now we just put this into play tapped. And then let's remove planning. Shadow's Verdict's still an interesting choice. Let's not take that out. Curate, Duress, Disruption. All right. So now we can attack and then just Shadow's Verdict, and that actually protects our Demilich. Another Ranger class. All right. Yep. Okay. It's not really worth wasting the Meat Hook Massacre. Do I use a Blood Chief's Thirst here? I just use a Fading Hope here, right? Because we have another backup Fading Hope. They don't know that, but you know. See how you feel about it, opponent. I mean, they can still go wide depending on what's on the top of their library. I'll go ahead and get this since it'll be our 7th land to use the Seagate Restoration. And we just know it'll be there. I'm kind of curious, like, they're really holding on to the Snakeskin Veil, and I'm not sure why. But it's kind of curious. Okay, here come the creatures. Okay. We could just draw the land and just put it in. That doesn't really do anything. Alright, we'll take a little bit of a beating here, I guess. That's fine. Or we just make them go ahead and use that now, I guess. Because there's no real gain otherwise. Yep, sounds good. We're at 8. So we'll gain 1. Decline. We're just going to take the card. Another Fading Hope. Yeah, sure, deck. Why not? Okay, so we attack. We get to divide by 0. That wouldn't be the worst thing. Nothing really to divide by 0, though. I mean, no better off than just doing this. Trying to decide what I want to cast when I attack. I mean, is it just Bloodchief's Thirst? Actually, do we even attack? Actually, no. We strategic planning to see if we could find another Lich is the plan, I think. And then if we don't, then we just Meathook Massacre, hope they don't draw another Snakeskin Veil. I think that's the plan. Ooh, Serpentine Curve. Never mind, that works too. We'll take that. Alright, well, that'll help quite a bit. I don't think they have anything that kills us with this. An 18/18 is kind of big. And now we can Meathook Massacre anything small out of the way. And then if they go to activate that, then we just go ahead and bounce it. Yep. We're gonna untap so they can attack with 2 things. Sure. We're still okay with that. I mean, that leaves them no green mana, so that's fine. Just see where they want to put the counters, which is probably on the Chariot. Bounce Faceless Haven. And then we'll just block the Chariot. Yep. Okay, now like I said, we did struggle a bit early on with this deck. And then the more we changed stuff, the more it came together. And we actually got some pretty solid wins with it. So I was pretty happy with that by the end of this. And our last game or two that we played were real nice. So really thought the deck was coming into its own a little bit, which is pretty nice. I will say, starting at the top here, we have Consider, and we're playing 4 of these, mostly because they draw cards. It doesn't hurt that it's putting stuff in the graveyard, obviously, which is what we want, but one of the things we learned early on, if you decide to change cards in here, is that some of the stuff that just kind of shaped our draws and left stuff on top of the library or whatever was nice, but the problem is, late in the game, when we needed an answer, or we needed to, like, pick off a creature, not being able to get those cards in your hand just wasn't good enough. I mean, too often you just left something you needed on top of the library knowing you weren't going to get another draw step, right? So you need to have as many cards you can to draw cards as you can. Fading Hope, however, doesn't draw cards, but does actually just get a creature out of the way, which we like. Also can get rid of big tokens, which is fantastic. I think you can even use it. One time we may have used it on a Chariot where they've, tapped and kept the Chariot from attacking us for lethal. So there's a few different things you can do with the Fading Hope. Otherworldly Gaze, this is one we initially had 4 of, and it became 3, then it became 2, and I think 2 is the right number, though. You still want some of them, because they are able to put cards in the graveyard. I just don't think you want a bunch of them. Bloodchief's Thirst. This is a card that I think we started with 2, ended up at 3, and honestly, if we were to pull something, I probably would end up playing a 4th Bloodchief's Thirst. This is probably one of the few cards I think I wanted more of all the time. Duress, we had 4 initially. We cut this back to 3. But that's also because we added another card we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But I think it's still the right number because you don't want too many of them against the aggro decks, but you still need to draw them enough against the control decks. Curate, just a quality card for this deck. Wanted to play more, but couldn't really squeeze them in there, unfortunately. But this is just really good, and again, it's another way to draw cards. Into the Royal is a bounce spell, and the thing about Into the Royal, too, don't forget, it does hit any non-land permanent. So it can get artifacts, and get planeswalkers. Like, this is really good. So don't undersell yourself on this card. And if you kick it, you get to draw cards. That's the other big part. We are playing for Debari's Disruption. Every once in a while, we're going to get to counter something with this, but realistically, it's just another land. But in the graveyard, it also counts as another spell, which is a big deal for us when you're talking about using some of the cards we have in the deck. So, kind of a necessary evil to play it, but it does fill a role. Then Strategic Planning. This is another one that, look at a bunch of cards, put some in the graveyard, get to put one in hand. But again, it's letting you draw cards. Now, the thing is, this is a sorcery, but because of all the work it's doing, we don't really mind that it's a sorcery speed spell. We're playing 2 Divide by 0, and this was one that, like, midway through the stream, we decided to add them in. And this has actually worked out okay. Again, it can bounce almost anything, but can also pseudo counter, which is fine too. But giving us access to more spells is also pretty nice, right? Because all the lessons happen to be spells. The other thing too is if we have this in the yard with the Demilich, we actually get to attack, bounce a thing, and then also get a card out of our sideboard. So again, fueling more stuff. So yeah, this is really good in here. Now, one of the things we added that let us cut one of those duresses was 2 go blanks. This is mostly good for the Azorius control matchup is probably where it shines the most, but pretty much anything that wants to use like Memory Deluge and all that stuff has some mild uses against the aggro decks in the sense that maybe they play 1 or 2 creatures and then you can get some other things out of their hand to save yourself some pain later. Or in some rare cases, maybe even bounce a thing and then get them to discard it so they can't recast it. So we'll see, but it's actually suitable here, but has a bigger role for the control decks, but not completely dead against the aggro decks, and that's kind of what you're looking for in a few cards. To Behold the Multiverse, this is something we didn't have initially that we added later, because we just wanted a way to draw a couple more cards, and being able to scry and then draw is really nice, and because we're playing Landlight, being able to foretell it is also very helpful. Now, the stars of the show here, the Demilich, you got to play a full set of 4. And this is one of those things that like you have to really plan out your turn. That's one thing I learned playing this, because even though you have instants, sometimes it is better to just play them on your turn, knowing that you're going to try to play the Demilich, right? And any color mana that you spend on a spell doesn't matter, right? If you play a Duress, it still reduces this by 1 blue, right? And that's huge to remember because it does make it easier for you to cast it if you do have like the 1 swamp in play with 3 islands or blue sources, right? So keep that in mind as well. But being able to copy stuff out of the art is fantastic, and yes, you do have to pay the mana for those copies, so be aware of that. But otherwise, yeah, this card's actually pretty sweet if you get it to rock and roll. Then we have Serpentine Curve, because this thing is almost always like a 12 plus. I think we had a game, maybe the last game on the video, maybe where we got to the 16 or the 18. I don't remember if I included that one, but that was actually huge. And then remember, you get to play this again if you attack with the Demilich if you want to. So yeah, these are going to end games on their own pretty quickly. So love that. Though you do have to be careful because we do have Shadow's Verdict in this. We kind of decided, we debated back and forth on what we were going to play for our sweepers, and ended up that Shadow's Verdict is the best thing. Mostly because you can get rid of enough things that are small, and those are the problems anyway, right? When you're talking about mono white aggro, mono green aggro, like you want to be able to get rid of all the small things. The bigger stuff you can deal with bounce spells, you know, the divide by 0, whatever, right? You have ways to deal with that, or eventually put blockers in the way, but you have to stop that early rush. So this is the card of choice we're going to go with. We are playing 3 Seagate Restorations because, again, it's a land, but it also counts as a spell in our graveyard, which fuels a bunch of things. So not really much to say about that. Rarely are we going to cast it and get the cards off it, but every once in a while we might. Then we're playing 1 Meathook Massacre, just as a little bit of versatility in our removal. So if you need to remove some bigger creatures late in the game, this is something you can draw into and give you an out. And some incremental life gain doesn't really hurt, so keep that in mind as well. The rest of the lands, we're going with 4 Island, 2 Swamp, 4 Clearwater Pathway, and 4 Shipwreck Mars. It looks like not that many land, but remember, you are playing Seagate Restorations. You do have Jiraiya's Disruptions. You do have a ton of things that are drawing cards, milling cards, doing all that other stuff. So you have plenty of ways to see mana. And we almost never had issues drawing mana with this deck. So that was the best part about it. But yeah, crazy deck list. I'm just surprised that we got to a version that worked, but I'm pretty happy about it. So yeah, I think once we put those extra sweepers and stuff in, we were able to shore up the matchups a little bit against the aggro decks, and that helped a ton with this. And we aren't really dead ever to the control decks. Only thing I would say is if you were really concerned about it, maybe it's possible to go ahead and add 1 or 2 of the creature lands, but that might be the only thing I would really change there. I mean, overall, it actually works okay, and I'm kind of surprised by that, to tell you the truth. Would we like a couple more things to attack with? Yeah, sure, and that's why I said that's why I'm thinking about including a couple of the creature lands, just to have something to do with your mana in the mid stages where you're kind of just like waiting to find Demiliches and seeing if those survive or not. But otherwise, yeah, this actually was pretty fun. Give it a go if you were really even just considering playing Demilich. Now for today's card spotlight, we're actually going to talk about Memory Deluge. First off, that this card is becoming so ubiquitous in so many decks that it's already starting to approach over $7. And as we're getting back to playing paper Magic, this is probably a card you want to pick up sooner rather than later, because it's going to be standard legal for another almost 2 years. So yeah, people are going to be playing this. I wouldn't be surprised if this trips over $15 at some point in the future. But we actually didn't play it in today's deck list, which was very weird, but I think it's mostly because we were trimming on mana and we have so many things we need to be doing early that we don't really want to take a turn off to do that when we have so many other things that already draw cards. So even though the card is great, we actually managed to find one of the blue heavy decks that doesn't necessarily want to play it. So there you go, just weird. But if you need them or you think you're going to play decks that would play this type of card, consider picking it up sooner rather than later, because I don't see this price really coming down too much. Now don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links to our Facebook gaming stream, our Twitch streams, and our Discord. And if I could be so kind as to remind you, we actually have memberships here on the channel now, and the members will be able to get to dictate what's going to be featured in the videos, as well as get their own deck list featured. We're going to start tackling that next month, so get in there and become a member of our YouTube channel before we get that rolling. And then finally, if you haven't, please remember to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it, send a letter, tell your mom I'm wonderful and I'm great and all that other good stuff. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.